Have you ever, confidently used this perfect, grammatically flawless sentence from your English textbook only to have a native speaker look at you like you just landed from Mars?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it happens all the time. You memorize the script.
Right, you think you're totally prepared.
Exactly. You say, hello, how are you? And you're fully expecting them to reply, I am fine, thank you, and you.
But instead, they just mumble something like, all right, mate, what's up? And they keep walking.
Yeah, and suddenly your textbook is completely useless.
It's so frustrating. Well, welcome to this audio lesson for the English ABC channel. We are so glad you're here with us.
Definitely. It's great to be here.
Today, our mission is to figure out why textbook English sounds so, different from the real world. And we want to give you the tools to bridge that gap.
And the goal here isn't to just throw your textbook away. I mean, the grammar you learn in class is really important.
Oh, for sure. You still need it.
But we want to help you sound natural, relaxed, and confident. Because mastering conversational English isn't about using these huge, complicated words or, sounding like a university professor.
Right, it's not a vocabulary test.
No, not at all. It's actually about understanding the social mechanics behind really small, everyday phrases.
Exactly. So we're going to explore how native speakers actually greet each other, how they ask for favors, how they disagree without starting a fight, and finally, how they escape a conversation without being rude.
Which is a very important skill.
It really is. So let's jump right into it. Before you can have a great conversation, you have to actually open the door. And that starts with the casual check-in.
Yeah, the greeting really sets the mood for the whole interaction.
It does. But, in a classroom, greetings are often taught as this exchange of literal information. Like, you ask how someone is, and they tell you their medical or emotional state.
Which is not what happens in the real world at all. In reality, a casual greeting serves a totally different purpose.
Yeah, it's kind of like a gentle game of tennis.
Oh, I like that comparison.
Right, you're just hitting the ball lightly back and forth over the net just to warm up. You aren't trying to smash the ball to win a point.
And you certainly aren't starting a deep, serious interview.
Exactly. If I walk up to a colleague and ask, how are you? And they give me a 20-minute answer about their recent stomach surgery, well,
They hit the tennis ball way too hard.
they did. They broke the game. So instead of heavy questions, native speakers use these quick, light phrases just to keep the ball in play.
Right, like someone might just ask, what's up? Or what's new?
And notice how short what's up is. I mean, it's built for pure efficiency. You're usually going to get a very short, informal answer back like, not much.
Yeah, another incredibly common one is, how's it going?
Oh, you hear that everywhere.
You do.
Yeah.
But if you're a language learner, you might wonder what the word it actually refers to in that sentence.
Right, like what is it?
Well, it doesn't mean a specific thing. It just means the general state of your life. That's why you can also ask, how's everything? Or how are things?
These phrases are intentionally vague, right? They give the other person permission to answer however they want.
Exactly. And if you want to be a tiny bit more formal, but still very friendly, you might stretch the sentence out and say, how's life treating you?
Or, what have you been up to recently?
Yeah, those are great. Now, when that tennis ball comes over the net to you, how do you hit it back?
I guess the classic, I'm fine, thanks, still works, right?
It does, but there are much more natural ways to respond. If your life is okay, not amazing, but generally good, you just say, pretty good.
And if absolutely nothing has changed in your life, you can just say, same old, really.
I love that one. It's a very comfortable phrase. It just tells the other person that there's no major drama to report.
But what if things aren't going well? You don't want to bring down the mood, but you still want to be somewhat honest.
You can soften the negative news by saying, not so great, really, or could be better.
I do want to pause on one specific response, though, because it confuses a lot of learners. I hear native speakers say, can't complain.
Ah, yes, that's a big one.
Literally, it means I cannot complain. But if I translate that directly in my head, it sounds like a hostage situation.
A hostage situation.
Yeah, it sounds like you really want to complain, but somebody won't let you. Like, I can't complain, my boss is listening.
That is hilarious, but yeah, it's a very common misunderstanding. Can't complain actually taps into this cultural mindset of humility.
Okay, so it's not negative at all.
Not at all. It's a highly positive phrase. When someone says can't complain, they are recognizing that other people in the world have much bigger problems.
Oh, I see.
So because they have a roof over their head and food to eat, they choose not to burden you with their minor frustrations. It's just a polite, stoic way of saying life is actually pretty good.
Wow, that reframes it completely. It's basically a way to say things are good without boasting or showing off.
Exactly. It's very humble.
All right, so we've opened the door. We've played our little game of conversational tennis.
The warm-up is done.
Right. And once you establish that friendly bond, the next natural step in human interaction involves exchanging small favors. You hold a door open, you pass someone a pen, you grab them a coffee.
Which brings us to the social glue of politeness.
Yeah. We all learned to say thank you, and I mean, it's a perfectly good phrase.
It is, but in real life, we often want to add a bit more warmth to it. If someone does something helpful, you can say, I really appreciate that, or simply, I really appreciate it.
It definitely sounds less automatic than a quick thanks.
It does. And if someone shows you an unexpected act of kindness, like maybe they stayed late at work to help you finish a project, you might say, that's so kind of you.
Where casual English gets really fascinating, though, is how we use the concept of debt.
Oh, yeah. This is a great point.
Because you'll often hear native speakers say, I owe you one, or, for a really big favor, I owe you big time.
Yes, very common.
See, to a learner, the word owe sounds like a financial obligation, like you're taking out a bank loan.
Right, like you're in debt now.
Exactly. If I tell my coworker I owe you big time, just because they brought me a sandwich, have I created a literal debt? Like, do I need to buy them a sandwich tomorrow to clear the ledger?
Not at all. You aren't signing a legal contract for a sandwich. Saying, I owe you one, isn't about keeping a strict score.
So what is it doing then?
It's actually a social tool. It implies a friendly readiness to return the favor whenever they might need it in the future.
Oh, so it just builds a bond.
Exactly. You're telling the other person, hey, we're on the same team and I have your back.
That makes total sense. Now let's talk about the other side of the equation. Responding to gratitude. Textbooks just hammer the phrase "you're welcome" into our heads.
They really do. It's everywhere.
But honestly, saying "you're welcome" every single time can feel a bit robotic. And depending on the tone, I feel like it can even sound slightly arrogant, like you're demanding recognition for your good deed.
It's funny you say that because linguists have actually studied this shift.
Really? There's a study on "you're welcome."
Yeah. Older generations often view thank you as acknowledging a debt, so saying you're welcome politely accepts that acknowledgement.
Okay, that makes sense for them.
But younger generations often view helping a friend as just expected, baseline behavior.
Right. It's just what friends do.
Exactly. So saying you're welcome feels way too formal to them. Instead, they want to communicate that the favor wasn't a burden at all.
Which is why you hear phrases like "no worries."
Yes. No worries is huge.
I love how relaxed that feels. It instantly diffuses any tension. It says, helping you cost me nothing, so don't stress about it.
Exactly. You can also use my pleasure or just pleasure. It sounds incredibly warm, like you genuinely enjoyed doing them the favor.
Or another great casual option is anytime, meaning you are happy to help them anytime they ask.
Yeah, swapping out you're welcome for no worries or anytime is probably the fastest way to instantly sound more like a native speaker.
It's such a simple fix, too. Okay, so we've built a friendly bond through greetings and favors. But eventually, you need to actually extract information from people.
Yes, you need to ask a question.
And this carries a specific kind of social risk, right?
It definitely does. When you ask someone a question, especially a stranger, you're basically testing their knowledge.
Right.
You want your answer, but you don't want to make them feel embarrassed or put on the spot if they don't actually know it.
Let's picture a scenario. You're visiting London, it's starting to rain, you're tired, and you are completely lost.
Not a fun situation.
No, it's the worst. And you're looking for a taxi rank, you stop a stranger on the street. If you just march up and say, "Where is the taxi rank?" It feels abrupt, almost aggressive.
Yeah, it's way too direct for a stranger. You haven't softened the approach at all.
So what should you do instead?
You should ask about their knowledge before you ask about the location. So you can say, do you have any clue where the taxi rank is? Or do you have any idea?
My absolute favorite way to ask this, and learners really need to pay attention to the musical rhythm of this phrase, is this one. You wouldn't happen to know, would you?
Oh, that's a brilliant one.
Listen to the melody there. You wouldn't happen to know where the taxi rank is, would you? It's so beautifully polite.
The psychology behind that specific phrase is so clever. By phrasing your question in the negative, you wouldn't happen to know, you are giving the stranger an easy escape route.
Right, you're letting them off the hook.
Exactly. You're essentially saying, I expect you probably don't know the answer, and that's completely fine, but I'm asking just in case. It removes all the pressure. They can say no without losing face.
Another phrase that does the exact same heavy lifting is, I don't suppose you'd know. Like, I don't suppose you'd know where the nearest supermarket is.
Yes, you're taking the burden of failure onto yourself there.
And if you find yourself in the receiving end of a question, and you genuinely don't know the answer, you don't just want to shout, I don't know, and run away.
Please don't do that. We have softer, more colorful ways to express a lack of knowledge.
Like you can say, I have no idea, or my personal favorite, I haven't got a clue.
There's actually a fun British quirk with that one. In Britain, people frequently drop the word got entirely and just say, I haven't a clue.
Really? Just, I haven't a clue.
Yep. It's such a staple of the culture there that one of their most famous long-running comedy radio shows is simply called, I'm sorry, I haven't a clue.
That is amazing.
Well,
and if you want to be a bit gentler and show empathy for their situation, you can apologize. Like, sorry, I can't help you there, or I'm not really sure.
And sometimes a person asks you a question that you were actually just asking yourself. In that case, you build an immediate bond by saying, actually, I've been wondering the same thing, or just, I've been wondering too.
So asking for directions or simple facts is a pretty low-risk interaction. But as a conversation deepens, we move from exchanging facts to exchanging opinions,
And we naturally start agreeing and disagreeing with each other.
which is a crucial threshold. Navigating agreement and disagreement is where so many English learners lose their confidence and just kind of freeze up.
Yeah, agreeing is definitely the easier side of the coin. When someone says something you believe is true, you don't just nod silently. You participate actively.
You throw in some verbal support.
Exactly. You can say exactly or absolutely.
You can be a bit more expressive and say, that's so true, or you're so right.
If you feel very strongly, you can say, I agree 100%. And in modern spoken English, you'll often hear people flip the word order for emphasis, saying, I 100% agree.
We'll also hear, couldn't agree more, meaning it's literally impossible for you to agree any further than you already do.
Yeah, that's a very strong one.
But here's where English throws a massive curveball at learners. The phrase, tell me about it.
Oh boy, yes.
I always laugh when I think about how this must sound to a non-native speaker. If my friend says, the traffic on the highway was terrible today, and I reply, tell me about it. Do I actually want them to sit down and tell me a long, detailed story about the traffic?
No, please don't tell the story.
Right. It's so confusing.
It is one of the most delightful contradictions in conversational English. When you say tell me about it, you actually mean the exact opposite.
So what does it mean?
You mean, you don't need to tell me about it because I have experienced the exact same misery and I feel exactly the same way.
It's pure empathy through shared frustration. Tell me about it really just means I already know.
Precisely. Okay, but agreeing is easy. What happens when you don't agree? Exchanging opposing opinions in a second language is terrifying.
It really is.
We can think of disagreement in conversation like driving over a bumpy road. If you just bluntly say, no, you are wrong, your car basically has no shock absorbers.
You hit the bump, the car crashes, and the conversational atmosphere is just completely ruined.
Exactly. So in English, we use verbal softeners as our shock absorbers. They don't remove the bump. I mean, you still disagree, but they stop the passengers from getting whiplash. They protect the relationship.
So instead of a harsh, you're wrong, you install a shock absorber and say, I'm not so sure about that.
Yes, the word so is the key there. It cushions the impact. I'm not so sure.
You can also focus strictly on your own perspective, which is very non-threatening. You can say, that's not how I see it.
Which is brilliant because you're telling them they're perfectly entitled to their opinion, but your eyes simply view the situation differently.
Another great tactic is stretching out a single word. Not necessarily. It means their point might be true in some situations, but not in every single case.
It leaves room for debate without being aggressive. Or you can just gently state your boundary by saying, I can't really agree with you there.
Adding the word really into I can't really agree is a classic softener. It just makes the disagreement sound hesitant rather than hostile.
You keep the car driving smoothly over the bump.
All right, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've opened the door with casual greetings. We've used favors and politeness to build rapport.
We've navigated the tricky waters of asking questions.
And we've successfully debated opinions using our shock absorbers. Now we arrive at the final boss of social interaction.
The hardest part for absolutely anyone, even native speakers.
Yes, escaping the conversation?
Oh, exiting a conversation is an absolute art form. Human psychology is just hardwired to fear rejection. If you suddenly stop talking and just walk away, the other person feels rejected.
Yeah, you can't just vanish.
Right. You have to convey that you want to leave without hurting their feelings, and it requires a very specific ritual.
We've all experienced the classic awkward exit. The physical body language alone is hilarious.
It's so recognizable.
You suddenly sit up straighter, you slap your hands down onto your knees, maybe you look down at your wrist to check the time, even if you don't wear a watch and your phone is in your pocket.
You just stare at your bare wrist.
Exactly. You look at your bare wrist and loudly announce, "Right."
Yes. The loud right, or the deep inhale, followed by a drawn-out, well.
It's universal.
It is, and these aren't just filler words. They serve a vital psychological function. They act as polite warning sirens.
Warning sirens.
Yeah, they gently tell the other person's brain, warning, I am starting the wind-down process. Prepare for the end of the conversation.
You're giving them an off-ramp. So you deploy the warning word. What's the actual phrase that follows it?
A very polite transition is, well, it was lovely chatting to you. Or you can focus on your own obligations, like, right, I'd better be going.
You can also simply say, "I need to get going."
And if you're in the UK, you might hear the classic, right, I must be off.
Ooh, I like that. It makes you sound very busy and important, like you have somewhere urgent to be.
It really does. So you've successfully announced your departure, you're standing up, now you have to deliver the final goodbye.
Speak to you soon is a fantastic, reliable standard.
It is. But here's a goodbye phrase that sounds incredibly strange if you take it literally.
Okay, what is it?
Send my love to your family. Or send my love to your husband.
Oh yeah, if my coworker says this to me, am I actually supposed to go home, gather my family in the living room, and announce, my colleague from accounting sends his love?
Definitely not. You don't need to become a literal messenger.
Good to know.
Native speakers rarely expect you to actually pass on the message. It's simply a warm sentiment. It shows that they recognize you have a life outside of this conversation and they care about the people in it.
I like that. It's the thought that counts. Now, obviously, a simple bye-bye or just bye is the most common way to part ways globally. But there's another phrase that is completely taken over,
Oh, I know which one you're going to say.
especially in North America. But you hear it everywhere now. The phrase is, have a good one.
Yeah.
I just have to ask a good what? What exactly is the one?
That is the ultimate linguistic mystery.
Seriously, nobody knows.
No one knows what the one is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why it's so useful. It could be a good day, a good shift at work, a good weekend, a good life.
It just works for everything.
Exactly. It's a completely vague, universally cheerful way of saying, whatever it is you happen to be doing next, I hope it goes well for you. Just make sure it's a good one.
Have a good one. It's effortless. You might also hear the American classic, you take care now. Though in Britain and Australia, people usually strip that right down and just say, take care.
And finally, if you're talking to a casual friend, you can say, talk to you later.
Oh, and you'll often see this written down in texts or emails as TTYL.
Yes, but a quick rule for learners. Only ever write TTYL. When you're speaking out loud, always say the full words, talk to you later.
Nobody actually says TTYL out loud.
Please don't say it out loud.
So what does this all mean for you, our listener? We've unpacked a massive amount of social machinery today.
We really have. We've given you dozens of conversational tools hidden inside this discussion. It's a lot to process.
It is a lot. What's the best way for them to practice this?
My biggest piece of practical advice for you is this. Please don't try to memorize every single phrase we talked about today.
Oh, definitely not.
If you try to learn them all at once, you'll just feel completely overwhelmed and you'll probably freeze up during your next conversation.
So what should they do instead?
Pick just one new greeting we discussed and one new way to say goodbye. That's it. Practice them in the mirror, get the rhythm right, and then intentionally use them with a friend or colleague this week.
Small, targeted changes.
Exactly. That is what builds massive speaking confidence over time.
That's a fantastic strategy. Bridge the gap from textbook to real life, one phrase at a time. Before we wrap up this audio lesson, I want to leave you with a final thought to mull over.
Okay, I love these.
So, we spent some time breaking down the bizarre physical and verbal rituals of escaping a conversation in English.
Yeah.
You know, the slapping of the knees, the loud right.
This is always funny to think about.
It really is. So pay attention to your own native language this week. How do people in your culture signal that they want to leave a room?
Oh, that's an interesting question.
Right. Is there a specific noise they make? A specific polite excuse they always use? It is fascinating to notice how different cultures engineer a solution for the exact same awkward human moment.
It really is.
Compare your language to English and see what you discover. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to this audio lesson.
It's been a blast.
If you found this helpful and want to keep improving your conversational skills, please make sure to like this video, leave a comment down below with your favorite new phrase, and subscribe to the English ABC channel so you never miss a future lesson.
Yes, definitely subscribe.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep talking, and have a good one.